All right, wonderful folks, youngins, chillins. Quadratic inequalities. What does that inequality mean? We'll look at this, not equation, but inequality. Do you see an equal sign there? No! So it's an inequality. Okay? I'm sorry. Yeah, I need to chill. Okay. Huh? Okay. So solve the following inequality algebraically. Notice it's a quadratic, not equation, inequality. It's greater than 0. So pretty much we need to find the values, the solutions for x when, if you plug it into that thing, it's greater than 0. So here, let's just, if you follow the steps, you will be good. So it's a quadratic. We can factor that. We should be really skillful at this by now. And if I write this, this should make good sense. You see that left side, I did the X game business. The X game business, and I've got x minus 3 and x minus 7. So in another unit, we would have said x equals 3 and x equals 7 are solutions. But not for this problem. We're going to call these just zeros, are the zeros. These are important numbers, and we're going to call them zeros. And really what it means is, if you were to graph, and we don't do much graphing here at all. If you were to graph this guy, quadratic, it would look like this. Okay, so visualizing it as a graph, understanding where the two zeros are, we can answer where is it greater than 0. You see, it's positive here and positive here, but it's negative here, along the y-axis. So wherever it's above the x-axis, it's positive, whereas below the x-axis is negative. And what is the inequality asking? Where is it greater than 0? Does that mean where it's positive or negative? Greater than 0 is positive. So all the values here and all the values over there are the solutions. It's a little messy. It's a lot of things happening. So sometimes you don't need to understand everything very perfectly. But if we can follow the procedure, then we're good. But what's going to be our answer? Negative infinity to 3 or 7 to infinity. Yikes, one second. Yeah. And honestly, these should be open dots. There's so many moving parts to this, honestly, So we're going to do our best. There's going to be a lot of errors. You're going to put in a lot of answers, but you're going to realize this little thing's messed up, that little thing's messed up. So we'll start with this. Well, why is this the answer? Well, this is how we write intervals. The interval means like from here to here. So negative infinity to 3 is positive. So that's what I got right here. Why did I make this a parentheses? Why not a bracket? Because it's an open dot. How do I know it's an open dot? Because there's no bar underneath the inequalities. Okay? So negative infinity to 3 is one part of the answer, and then 7 to infinity. That's what I put here. The U just means or. Maybe I'll label this 3 and 7. Many moving parts. It all follows certain logic, but if you stick to the procedure, you'll get it. Maybe another example, 2 more examples. A lot of examples will help you out, but for me to do to you. But you can do that part on the Delta Math. I do need a note from this problem. There's another way to write this. Let me call it alternative. 0 less than x squared minus 10x plus 21. This is something we've encountered before, okay? An equation or an inequality, you can write it left to right or rewrite it right to left. So if we look at it written left to right, makes sense. But then right to left, you might see it rewritten right to left. So it's like that inequality sign flips, you see? Because 0 less than all of this. If I'm reading it right to left, it's like a different inequality sign. If I read it left to right, this greater than 0. All right. I'll show you why that. Just realize you probably will get a lot of wrong answers, but just keep trying, okay? All right, let's try this example here. What's different about this example? Solve the following inequality algebraically. So it's definitely an inequality, because look, we got that inequality sign. Definitely looks a little different from the last problem. One important thing to know. So this is a quadratic, actually. We want one side to be 0, okay? And I'm going to make the left side 0. Yeah. Or it doesn't really matter. Jeez. No. Let's move everything to the left. Let's always keep the right side 0, okay? So negative 2x squared stays there. We're going to plus the 16x over there. And we're going to plus 1 and go over there. Okay, so this is what we have. Usually we like 0 on the right. So honestly, if we can forget about what I said, you might see 0 on the left. But there is a problem here, which was why I said it kind of matters which way you read it. But the problem is you don't want to a negative in front. Honestly, do this, okay? There's always 10 different ways to do something, and I'm thinking of 2 or 3 different ways. But we don't want a negative in front. So I would do this. Multiply everything on the left by negative 1, as well as the right, of course. What's the purpose of that? To get rid of that negative in front. So we got 2x squared minus 16x plus 40. Yes. No. Minus 40. You see, when you multiply negative 1, everything changes to the opposite sign. On the right side, what do you get? It still stays 0. But this is something pretty important. If you multiply or divide by negative in an inequality, the sign flips. Yes. So this is important. When we're going to graph this thing, after we factor it. So let's factor that first. Let's factor first. Factor first. A lot of moving parts, a lot of steps, all come together from different units. And looking at all these 3 numbers, looks like I can pull out a GCF of 2. You see? And then 2's in front, and then that inside can be factored to x minus 10, x plus 2 greater than or equal to 0. So here we are. We factored it, and now we can graph it. And honestly, the 2 doesn't affect anything. The zeros are from the, factorization, we see that it's -2 and 10. So we'll put a -2 right here, a 10 right here, and it's a u, okay? So again, if it's above the x-axis, we're talking positive, greater than 0. If we're underneath the x-axis, it's negative. So now we're able to answer the question, solve for greater than 0. Where is it greater than 0? Where it's positive. So negative infinity to -2. So that's the solution. It's messy and it's a lot, and geez, I can just throw all this steps and information and watch this, watch that, but it's all
Oh, that was good.
you just want me to stop. But yeah, it's always about y'all doing it. Get enough right until you get it wrong until you get it right.